Are we trying to go forward with it, or are we trying to go backwards, 2 steps back? You know what I'm saying? Like going forward or 2 steps back. Because it seems like we're trying to go forward, but also when people do stuff like this or bash a person about what they're going through, it feels like we're going 2 steps back. And again, healing, not healed. Come on, y'all. This is actually perfect a day to like wear it and talk about it. I just thought about that, you know. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I'm feeling way better. You can hear it in my voice compared to last week's episode. I was feeling really sick, and in this week's episode, I'm back to normal. Everything's fine. Everybody's healthy. Voice sounds good. And yeah, I'm back now. Welcome back. Thank you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this or listening to this. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. This is the most underrated podcast in the world, and that's a fact. I'm not just saying that. Let's jump into the same thing I always do at the beginning of every episode, which is recapping. Let's recap what just happened last weekend and last week's episode, and then we'll get into some like topics and things we'll talk about later in the episode. But for starters, I gotta say, last week, man, y'all don't know. I was sick. The whole fam was sick. Like sick. I don't want to get into details of how or what caused the sickness, but I was sick, and I had to, we had to get that under wraps, get it under control. Fortunately, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to have the opportunity to still record and it not affect anybody else. And luckily, I have the opportunity to record kind of at my own leisure, at my own pace. Luckily, I don't have to go off. I don't have to go to other people's locations, you know what I'm saying? Remote locations. And I don't have to go schedule things, and because then I'd be at risk of getting someone else sick. You catch my drift? So luckily and fortunately, I'm in a position and I'm in a place, and I've aligned myself in a place where I can record, wherever I want. And because of that, I was able to record even though I was feeling like sick, and I didn't have to get like anybody else sick, if that makes sense. If y'all catch my drift, you know what I'm saying? That's what was good, and I'm thankful for that for sure. But yeah, so I still wanted to, even though, like I said, I was feeling sick. My voice was definitely not there, and you could hear it this week compared to like last week's episode. My voice was not there, or not there at all, but I still wanted to record. So I'm glad I did and everything too. And so that was just, like I said, just going into that one and just talking about that episode and why if you listen to it or if you watched it and you're just like, what the hell's wrong with this voice? Even though I had said at the beginning of the episode, I'm sick. That was why. But I still wanted to, get it done, do the solo ones. And that was last week's episode. Oh, my shirt. Thank you for asking. You noticed my shirt. Thank you very much. This is actually podcast alum, Beatriz Aguilar Bibi. She dropped another new line of merch and everything. And so, I had to support. And so this is her shirt. And I would say, yo, go check it out and go buy some, but I'm pretty sure they're all sold out. So, and like in all sizes. It was like, this was like, like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago or something like that, but they're all sold out. But, it says healed, not healed. No, healing, not healed. So definitely go check it out. I wish I could show you guys the back. Oh, I can't, because the back looks dope. Yeah, thank you for asking. That's the shirt. And thank you, BB. I appreciate you. Let's start with this past weekend. So this past weekend was the homie Jeffrey, podcast alum. It was his grand opening at the barbershop. And I feel like we've talked about it a few times. We've highlighted it a few times. Been there hella times. And if you're wondering, I'm not even sure if people are saying this, but if you're wondering, like, man, how many times is he talking about the barbershop? How many times can he talk about the barbershop? How many times because this and then that? However many times, what does it matter? That's the homie, you know what I'm saying? And he opened up a barbershop and put his homies on too. So where's the hate in that? How could I not highlight that? How could I not be like, oh, that's super cool? You know what I mean? So it was that Saturday, and I took my camera. He didn't ask me to. It wasn't like he was like, yo, can you do this for me? But But I took my camera because I was just like, oh, there would be a cool time to like, capture these moments, take a few photos, record a few, just of it, like from his family, his friends, whoever else made it, supporters. You know what I'm saying? Also, just I thought it'd be really cool to like get an opportunity to interview a few people and have them say a few things on his behalf that he and his family and everybody could see after when I put it on. Like I could send it to him directly, or I could put it on YouTube where it could be at forever. And not just that, but if you put it on YouTube, bunch of people from all over the world can see it, and you can also send for your family, your friends, and whoever, and be like, yo, check out this link where it'll always be at. And it's just a cool thing. Like, fast forward, I don't know, 10, 15 years, when his son and potential future kids are, in their teens, they could look back and be like, oh, look at, this was this time, because I wish I had that. I wish I had the opportunity of someone being able to record and document a lot of this process, behind the scenes, and get like the more candid photos, more behind the scenes B-roll type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just documenting the whole thing. I wish I would have had this. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it would be a really cool idea to like I said, document it. Not that he asked me to, but more so like a want type of thing, and to show him like this would be really cool for you to see in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like this would be really cool. Just to show everything. So did that. Took my camera. I took my little mic type of thing, and it was like kind of like an interview reporter type of thing. And I had a coat on because I don't know why I felt like a coat would make me look like more like a reporter. I don't know how I don't even know. The coat was fire though, so I guess I can't say it wasn't like a bad look because the coat was fire. I walked around, interviewed a few people, got a bunch of good photos, got a bunch of good videos, did the whole opening thing, and it was cool. Yeah, like grand openings are, I mean, it doesn't have to be just barbershops or secluded to just salons and stuff like that. It could be grand opening for clothing stores, grand opening for independent business owners for selling whatever products that they have, and music stores, and just all kinds of different things. So, oh, sorry about that. Just all kinds of different things. So, what's cool about them too is that you get to like get everybody together, and everybody's there to like kind of like appreciate and see, I guess, the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? Like all your hard work paying off, and getting all the your close ones, your loved ones, your supporters. First of all, just to get everybody's busy. Everybody has a schedule, but just to get everybody on the same page, on the same time. Yeah, it was a cool thing. So, if you haven't done it, like I've said plenty of times before, go check out the barbershop. And that'll also be used as a hub sometimes too, for potential future episodes where we can record, say if we need like a group setting, and stuff like that. Sorry. And stuff like that. So yeah, it was a good thing going forward. And that was the only knock on it, if any, was just that, it was so many of us in the thing that, the AC was going. But when everybody's like, towards the end, people were dancing. People were like, a few shots deep, a few drinks in. So we started sweating a little bit. It's getting a little hot. But that just comes with it, Like, I wouldn't even call that a negative. But, that type of thing just comes with it. So it was really cool. And I'm glad I was able to be a part of it and, document it and everything. And it's on YouTube. We did a recap video. It's about 10 minutes. So it's not that long. It's not that short. But if you have an extra like 10 minutes or so to spare, go to the podcast YouTube page, check it out. And you can kind of see and visualize. You can see everything that I was just talking about, So yeah, if y'all can, go check that out. But anyway, that was, like I said, that was that Saturday. Sunday was really chill, nothing crazy, typical Sunday type stuff. Try to relax, get ready for the next day, nothing crazy. And that was just really, really it. Over the course, if you think about it, like over the course of, the this next upcoming week and last week, like drawing now and finishing the month of August, like this heat, bro. I keep talking about this heat, but there's another heat wave coming up this last little stretch of August where it's about to be stupid and hot, like triple digits again. And I say it all the time, in all these episodes, but I'm just like, I'm over it. Going on to the next one. But yeah, let's talk about this next thing. So I saw this online and I was just like, nah, I didn't really like mess with it heavy. Meaning like, I was like, I didn't agree with it for starters, right? But also I didn't really kind of like understand or comprehend this dude's, I guess, his logic, right? So what I'm getting into is talking about, if you don't know this artist, he's an independent artist, big time artist, very successful. One of my faves. His name is Russ. Russ, right? So he had this upcoming European tour, and he had posted on his Instagram or on his stories or something like that. But essentially, he canceled the tour due to like mental issues, right? And I've been seeing a lot of stuff on this online, like a lot of back and forths, and a lot of agreements, disagreements, hate, appreciation, mixed feelings on the whole thing. But it canceled it because there was a long explanation, essentially being, and this is just a summarized version of it, but essentially he got hit with some news, he got info on it, and it's just like not right in his head, and he's not in the correct mental space to, tour all of Europe, which is a lot. And when you're touring Europe, you're not talking about a week long. You're not talking about like, it's just 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. It's like months. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore on that too, it's like, bruh, he's losing out on millions. You think he wants to cancel that stuff as an independent artist at that? A lot of artists make the majority of the money on the road because they get paid for shows. They make the money on the road. Furthermore than that, when you're an independent artist, that's when you for surely like make your money. And it's a good gauge to see what your fan base is at. Now, I'm not an artist. I'm not pretending myself to be one, but that's a good gauge to be like, how many people are fucking with me, especially internationally. You know what I'm saying? How are these ticket sales going in Europe? Not a lot of people can, artists, pop artists, you name it. Not a lot of them can sell out and tour at a European level, international. I'm not talking about locally or in the States. European, dog, like that shit's heavy. But yeah, so he canceled it. Gave us his explanation, even though, like I said, realistically, didn't need to freaking do the whole explanation. But in that too, there was already, like I said, amongst all the plethora of the internet people, throwing shade and all that stuff. That's whatever. You can get over that. I mean, you can't escape that. That's regardless. But he had another fellow artist come at him with some comments. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Lil Pump. Lil Pump, remember him? Yeah, that guy. Remember him? Yeah, that guy. Basically, if you put a video himself of him saying like, I'm from Dade County. We were born with the mental illness, or something like that, or born with mental problems, and he essentially was telling Russ to suck it up, stop being a bitch, suck it up, and to get over it, and to do the shows like that, right? So those two things, and I feel like this was a good thing to talk about and break down here because I've talked about mental stuff before and the importance of prioritizing your mental health and also getting the perspectives on stuff, So here's the thing. So for one, let's start with Russ himself. If you know Russ, if you listen to his music, if you're a fan of his, you know, the majority of his music is like soulful. The majority of his music comes from a place of what's the word I'm looking for? It comes from a place of like heartbreak. It comes from a place of like feelings. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't know his music, or if you're not a fan of him, you can listen to it and you could feel it. You know, so I think he's like 2 years younger than me. 2 years younger than me, maybe a year younger, something like that. 2 years or 1 year younger than me. So we're basically around the same age. But, you know, I've been following him and his music for, I don't know, probably like 7 years now. Probably, probably like 7 years now. And, there's a reason why he like a lot of people gravitated towards him. And the reason why he has a lot of fans and everything was because of the music. He always talk about people have always talked about how much the music has helped them mentally. People have always told him how much music has helped him get through like a heartbreak or something like that, or how much the music has helped them get over whatever mental hurdle, you know, they might be going through in the moment, and how much his music has done for them. Right. So I'm saying all that to give like some background, some context in this, you know, in that this isn't canceling a whole tour or whatever, or saying he's going through some mental stuff. This isn't the first time he's had, you know, some hurdles to cross. This isn't the first time he's had to deal with some adversity and stuff like that. And again, I'm not his rep, bro. I'm not speaking for him. I'm just giving you my opinion. Okay. So one, he's been there, done that, done with some mental stuff. And I'm sure he's always had to push through plenty of times, you know, like to be able to make it as a successful independent artist in this game, you have to have some fucking balls behind you. You have to, you know, go through some shit, get over some shit. And you have to, I mean, you don't have to do anything, but I'm sure he's been there, done that type of thing, you know, so that's number one. Number two, we don't know the context of what information was given to him or what exactly he's going through. We don't know it at all, you know. We could speculate, we could assume. I mean, sure, everybody can do that, right? But it's like we don't know exactly what's going on with him and how much it's affecting him. Because if it comes to a point where he's just like, man, I don't want to do this tour anymore because I'm just not right. We're not talking about like a sore throat. We're not talking about like he stubbed his toe or some shit like that, you know. If it gets to a point where it's like you're canceling out again a whole European tour and losing out on millions, dog, like that means that something is not right for you. I mean, something is definitely not there. And so that's number two. We don't know what the hell. And number three, it's also not, when a person says that they're going through this and is not right mentally and they're not right in the headspace currently, which should be a red flag, already, to be like, man, I hope he's okay. That is not the time for everybody to pile on the dude. That is not the time for Lil Pump and other artists to be like, yo, suck it up, quit being a bitch. Like, that's not the answer. Because then what starts to happen is that's when you start to hear those conversations. I'm not saying this is the levels of that. I'm not saying I hope he doesn't go there or anything like that. But when something starts to happen and people start to do something to themselves, then that's when they start being like, oh, damn, why didn't he speak up? Or damn, there was no signs, there was no clues, he never said anything. That's when they start being like, oh, I wish he would have not done that. Why didn't he just speak out? Well, because he did. And then when they do speak out, then they start to get this type of backlash for the type of things. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying it's going along those lines, and I hope it doesn't. I don't wish that on anybody. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but I'm just saying there's a fine line that we're towing over like support versus slander. You know, like, be careful how you come at a person, because then that's what it's, and that's just, he's just being used, not even just being used as an example, because I'm just using him as an example right here. But then other people outside looking in, other people might look at that and be like, you see, that's why I don't like to say anything. You see, that's why other dudes might look at this and be like, you see, that's why I don't talk about this shit. See, that's why I hold this stuff in. That's why, therapy, fuck that. I don't want no one to look at me like this. Fuck that. Because then it's like, it's the, it's fragile male ego. They don't want to come off looking like weak. So it's just, overall, it's like, that was number 3. It's pretty weak for you to come at a person like that. Number 4, damn, I might even go to 5. Number 4, it's like, dude, if you say, this is, again, Lil Pump, Sir Lil Pump. If you say, I think, what's his name? Something Garcia? What's his name? What's his real name? Something Garcia, I want to say. But in the video that you say, when you put, if you yourself say, man, I was born with mental issues, get over it. That's, bro, if you're saying you were born with them, first of all, you can't be like, I'm from a county and be like, I was born with it. The county has nothing to do with your mental problems. It could be, you may be a product of your environment, but ultimately you have the choice to come to a path where there's a fork on the road. Like, do you want to continue or do you want to change? Do you want to continue or do you want to change? So I don't use the whole, I'm from this area to, box yourself into that. So that doesn't even make sense to me. But again, that's just my opinion. But for you to, let's just say you're saying somewhat of what you're saying is factual, or somewhat that you're saying is true, or at least that you believe in, it's not cool to be like, well, I was born with this. Because it's like, bro, go get some help then. I know that's like a reach. Maybe I'm taking it too literal. But it's like, if don't like say, you know what I'm saying? Like that you're going through this and then bash a person for going through that. But just be like, you got to deal with it. You're not like, bro, what? Again, we don't know the information at hand. We don't know what he's going through. But also, you don't have a European tour. You could barely even get a regular tour. Like, come on, dog. There's just levels. So, Lil Pump, just, be more mindful about that shit. And my thing, too, is by the time this comes out, this is probably already been debated about, talked about a bunch of different blogs or a bunch of different radios. I know I always get listening to it at the Breakfast Club, with Charlamagne and DJ Envy, because I always listen to the Breakfast Club, like, daily. So I was listening to their points, which are valid, And what sucked about it a little bit is that sometimes I wish I didn't listen to it, only because like I want to have like a more, like when I talk about it, like a more regurgitated, no, not regurgitated, but like more raw talk about it, as opposed to like, if I do listen to it, then I'm able to hear some of those points back and forth too. So that is a good conversation to go listen to and go check out too on the Breakfast Club, just like I always say, one of my favorite ones ever. Yeah, so that's just kind of, I wanted to talk about that one and then put a button on that, because it's just like, come on, yo. Are we trying to go forward with it, or are we trying to go backwards, 2 steps back? You know what I'm saying? Like, going forward or 2 steps back? Because it seems like we're trying to go forward, but also when people do stuff like this or bash a person about what they're going through, and it feels like we're going 2 steps back. And again, healing, not healed. Come on, y'all. This is actually a day to like wear it and talk about it. I just thought about that. Healing, not healed. So yeah, that's the shit right there. But anyway, moving forward, going towards September, yo. September is literally around the corner. I'm talking about Labor Day weekend is coming up. I'm talking about we're going to Disneyland, taking Lil Man in September. I'm talking about Halloween's already here. But basically, we're already Halloween. Basically, we are already in Halloween. Go buy your costumes. Not just messing with you, but fall is here. Fall is well, it's not here, but it's almost here. But fall is my favorite time of the season. I don't know why specifically. I feel like the reason why I like fall is because of, I like when it gets darker quicker. No, does it? Yeah. I like when it gets dark quick. That's just me. I don't know why, but I just like when it gets dark quicker. Damn, is that a word? But I also like the scenery of everything, like the scenery of. Yo, I'm struggling. The scenery of seasons and the way that everything looks. I know that there's a bunch of S's in there, and I'm trying, yo. But yeah, I just like the feeling of coziness. I like to bundle up. I like wearing sweaters. I like wearing jackets. I like wearing beanies. I like wearing hats. So it's that too. Like you can't be bundled up. Like you can't wear a jacket and a sweater and a beanie when it's 105 outside. You know, you just can't. So I like to be bundled up. I like the coziness of it. I like pumpkin pie. You feel me? I like the scenery. I like all that shit. I'm not gonna go there with this pumpkin spice latte. I don't get that. I do not get that. Give me my coffee straight. Give me black coffee. Give me my nitro cold brew. Give me my iced Americanos. If sometimes I'll get like a cold brew with a splash of almond milk, or sometimes I might get the chocolate cream, but I'm not getting all that crazy shit. But maybe I will. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I will try the pumpkin spice latte and the freaking, you know, the whatevers of the whatevers. Maybe I could see it. I could see it. Maybe. But so it's coming up, and I say all that to say that we're at the last quarter of the damn year, dude. So whatever you thought you were doing at the beginning of the year, when you said this year is gonna be my year, and you haven't done it, hey, time's ticking. At the beginning of the year, if you said I'm gonna do this year, or this year I'm planning on tackling this, hey, time's a ticking. If you said I'm going to prioritize this year, I'm going to get my body right this year, I'm going to diet this year, I'm going to start this thing, but you haven't, or you've been slacking, hey, time's ticking, yo. If you said, you know what, I'm going to hit him up to be on the podcast, and you haven't done it, hey, time's not ticking per se, but just let me know, you know? Yeah. Yeah, let me know, y'all. Anyway. And then also what I like about September too is the fact that sports is coming back. Because, you know, like after the Super Bowl, after NBA Finals, you have this little small stretch, you know what I'm saying? There's a small little period where there's like, where sports is not, you know, I get it. There's other sports going on. There's baseball, there's soccer, you know, there's other, I want to say hockey. No hockey. But, you know, there's other sports that just, you know, yeah, hey, you know, whatever, what I'm talking about. So there's a small period where it's like, it's not as exciting, you know. So come September, you're wrapping up with preseason football starting in August, wrapping up in September before game like the week 1. And then you start getting preseason for basketball coming up come October. I mean, wait, is basketball back on its regular schedule, or are we on that COVID bubble schedule where like game 1 wasn't until Christmas? Remember that shit? Game 1 wasn't until like Christmas Day. Hopefully it's not that, but yeah, so you start getting into the sports. And if you're a sports fan like I am, you're looking forward to it because you're able to, like I said, September, October, you feel me? And I want to, when does, actually baseball's still going, it's still going on right now. So I don't want to like exclude that, you know, because I'm a Dodgers fan. Sup with it. But yeah, so football and basketball are like my main two. I mean, there's boxing and MMA that's all year round. There's no really like seasons for it, so I'm always still tapped in on that too. But that's all part of the rollout. Like I said, fall. Maybe that's why I like the fall too, because that's all part of the rollout. You know what I'm saying? And then if my son's not in school yet, but I know there's a lot of parents that look forward to this time frame too, because they're able to, sadly, and they're able to push along their kids, whether it be to preschool, daycare, kinder, middle school, high school, whatever, or even college too. I find that a lot of parents look forward to that too. So I guess overall, universally, everybody should like the fall some more. You know what I'm saying? They should at least. I don't know. All right, y'all. I think that's a wrap. This is a late one. Oh my God. Another long one. Between regular work stuff, putting little man to sleep, doing all that. It's another late one, yo. But as always, y'all stay safe. I'm your host, Albert Fig. Thank you for tuning in. Are my eyes red again? Did you guys notice last week? No, not last week, but 2 weeks ago, my eyes were like hella red. It wasn't because of smoking or anything like that. It was because I was tired. It was like 11 something at night, and I was tired. And I hope my eyes are not red like that too, because I'm just tired again. Anyway, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay safe. Peace.